few days already, and the country had surprised me more than I had expected. But nothing could have prepared me for where we were heading next. This is Ghadames, a small town in the middle of the Sahara Desert. But what makes this place unique isn't just where it is, it's what it used to be. Right here, Libya, Algeria, and Tunisia all meet. And not that long ago, this wasn't really a border at all. People moved freely. This wasn't the edge of a country, it was a connection between them. But today, those same borders are closed, heavily controlled, almost impossible to cross. So I came here to understand what's left of a place that once connected the Sahara, but now sits completely isolated. It was early morning when we headed out into the streets of Ghadames, and at first the place felt almost too quiet, maybe even empty. It had me wondering if this is just how life is. Not a single person around. This immediately left me wondering, how do people make money here?
Like small private businesses going on, but the city used to be before like a rich city, full of tourism. But nowadays, like today, I think you are the only tourist here in Ghadames. It used to be hundreds of tourists every day here on the winter season. So things has been changed, but we hope that tourism will be back again, rising on this city.
And after traveling 75 countries and somehow always feeling connected to the locals, I started to wonder what my heritage actually was. When I was growing up, I heard I was French, Irish, and German. Now that I speak Arabic, people tell me that I'm Lebanese. My brother told me that maybe I'm Welsh. There was only one way to figure that out, and we have my heritage here. I received this kit in the mail, and I was able to do this in 2 minutes, swab the inside of my mouth, and boom, ship this in. They analyzed it, and now we're here. View results. All right, your boy is 34.9% English, 25.9% Scottish and Welsh, 16.3% Irish, 6.8% Germanic, 5.2% Breton, I don't even know what that is, 5.2% French. I didn't expect to be more than a third English. And you can even find out things like DNA matches, so there's long lost cousins that I'm able to find and get in contact with if I want. They have it contracted that they'll never sell your data to anyone, so don't worry about that. So use my code NOMAC19 at checkout by scanning the QR code on screen or using the link down in the description below to get the lowest price ever on my heritage. Anyways, let's get back to the video. We had made it over to the coffee shop, and within minutes, we were no longer alone. A couple of local guys had offered to show us around the city, and one of them would actually invite us into his home a little later. Our boys are going to be showing us around. Our good man, here's a new guide here. You got to show off some of your English here.
Yeah.
So what's up, my brother? How'd you learn English?
I don't know. Maybe 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yeah, I start learn English during when me child.
Is it normal in Libya to learn English?
They teach it in school.
In school, okay.
They teach in school, but
Center of
if you didn't practice for a long time, so you can just here like we are learning English to pass the exam. Or
Yeah. And jokes aside, before we head into the old city to understand how a city could survive in the desert prior to modern technology, I wanted to see how some of the locals can generate an income here.
no, usually for us, for occasion, you use the marriage ceremony or Eid or something like that. So it will be a woman's job to do this part of the slipper like this, okay? It will be a gift from your mother as a groom. When you get married, your mother should make and prepare one for you if she has the skill. If she doesn't, she will buy one like those for you. Then they send it to this guy to put it in the mold and finish it up together.
Wow.
It will be like this.
Look at that. These guys make a living simply with their hands, whether it's souvenirs or making things like handmade shoes for special occasions and celebrations. It's a kind of craft that gets passed down for generations. And later on, we would try and find out more about how locals here make money. But before we do that, it's time to visit the old city.
You can see the old city of Ghadames. Ghadames is famous in the past by being a caravan center. All the caravans that crossing the desert, they should stop here to get water supply, rent camels, rent export, because we have a good relationship with the tribes of the desert.
So are there differences now in modern day between your two tribes?
There is some difference in the dialect. We are speaking Berber, but our dialect's like a little bit different by them. Mostly like we understand each other very clearly. Yeah.
So you don't say Shini Zhao here then?
We say Tantara Hadna.
Tantara Hedna. Tantara Hedna.
انت وضم
Into Wadam. Where did you arrive? One of the reasons that people left the old city of Ghadames is the main source of water start to die. But all the houses and farms inside the city still properties for the same families that lived here.
These homes weren't built to look unique. They were built to survive. In one of the hottest environments on Earth, this entire city was designed to stay cool. Palm trees filter the air, tunnels move it through the passageways and down into the homes below. And somehow, even out here in the Sahara, it works. And this is a 4-story level structure. And this whole area that we just walked all the way through is the corridor. Because here in the desert, it gets so unbelievably hot. How do you adapt to it? Well, you do that by having this level so far underground that by the time you get to this level, you have Earth's natural air conditioning. If you've ever been in a basement inside of a house, as soon as you're underground, you just naturally feel a little bit cooler. So as we're walking through, you're seeing all of these. This provides light every couple, let's say maybe 15, 20 feet. There are these openings, and then there's also ventilation.
Now we're now going to see my family's house.
1, 2, 3. That's for men? Now they're gonna think I'm a woman here. Mazboot? Yeah, because if you go really fast, then it means 3 clicks is for a woman. Assalamu alaikum ya Yazaim. Shini jao, tamam? Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Shalak barkon, tamam? Tamam.
Yeah, we have these guys from Zawiya, from Zawiya.
Oh, very nice. Sharafna fikun.
Local tourists.
Talayin al-daraj.
The red is like hospitality color. Even if you receive like another country head or Congress or somebody VIP, they put red carpet. High quality of hospitality.
And speaking of hospitality, my new friend Abdul Rahman had a surprise for me.
The gift is wearing traditional clothes.
Oh, shukran ya Yazaim.
Usually we use this for marriage ceremony. Hajj Mark is here.
Hajj Mark. Modern Hajj Mark. All right. Oh, yeah. Shini Jao ya Yazaim. Shilak barkon. توا أنا بالمدينة اسمه غدامس وصلة منطقة هذا الحدود بليبيا شو حلو مش معقول. This is what it would be like if I was from Libya over 1,000 years ago. Except probably we would take the glasses off. So we got up to the top and now you can see what it's like on the 4th level. This is where all of the kitchens once were. So what you're looking at is ventilation. And the reason being, the kitchens are up here at the top. Because imagine if the kitchens were at the bottom. If a fire were to start, it would burn the entire village down, because as you can see, all houses are connected. Right there, you can see the different structures on the roof. At first, you might think that's just architecture, but that's actually to capture the wind and pull it down there. And so, of course, with cold air falling, warm air rising, they're pulling that cold air right in there. And then these trees that surround this whole place almost act as a filter to slightly cool down the breeze and bring it right in. And that is how back in the day, deep in the desert, they were able to stay cool. For a moment, standing on that rooftop, looking out over the old city, it almost felt like stepping back into how life used to be here. It's hard to believe a place this advanced exists in a town most people have never heard of. Mr. Brasset Hiba, مالك الغدامس, eh? تشرفنا. So we're learning the Libyan dialect. يا أفندي يعطيك صحة يا أفندي. One day I will tell my grandkids that your grandpa used to sit in the desert prior to AI and could actually speak some of the Libyan dialect. But the real king behind all of this was the man who gave me daily lessons for 2 weeks. A Libyan man named Abdul. شنو يا زعيم.
يا زعيم
يا غالي.
شنو ليبيا عجبتك ولا مليحه؟
شنو حلو ايه مليح حلبة مليح ليبيا.
مليحه قلبه هذه اهم حاجه، اهم شيء عجبتك. شنو المطار؟ سهله الامور.
كان في مطار بطرابلس بس توا الشمس قوي حلبة ونطنا مبسوطين.
وي اندرستاند.
ايه 100% يا زعيم. يلا اهلا وسهلا. عم متى راح تيجي ليبيا؟ ثاني مرة لإلك.
ليبيا راح اجي الصيف الجاي.
Well, we look forward to seeing you. So yeah, I just wanted to say what's up يا غالي. But we'll talk soon. بشوفك.
ان شاء الله.
ان شاء الله.
نشوفك.
مع
السلامه.
مع السلامة. After making some of the local Ghadames bros laugh with my broken Libyan dialect, it was time to try out Abdul Rahman's famous meal. We're going to be trying something unique to Libya. We are eating camel.
The younger it is, the more juicy and tender the meat.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be hard if it's a big camel.
So let's go ahead and eat. It's not for me. So that was a nice little tour with our friends over in the old city. And now we're gonna cruise around the new neighborhood, which the government actually built for them. They said, hey, listen, we're gonna build you government housing and make it nearly identical. And it literally looks like the same sort of design, yet modernized. What do locals think of tourists coming here? Because I remember earlier this morning you had mentioned that most of the money in this city doesn't even come from tourism, which I was shocked because I thought that was the main driver.
They get paid salaries from the government, but the tourists will represent the hope for the locals here. When they see tourists, they don't. Tourism does not give contribution here, but it gives them hope that things will be back again, before civil war. In the high season, it was very hard to find a hotel to stay in. The Algerian border used to be open, traders, Algerian, Moroccan. So people, when they see tourists, they think of the old days when the city was like full of tourism, full of the economic was perfect here.
A massive difference from what it must have once been, because I mean, when we got to the hotel, I didn't really film any of this, but I think us three are the only guests staying in that hotel, and that's a multi-floor hotel. And what about all this development over here? People are just building new houses, or the government's building that, or what's that?
No, this is another also social housing, but it's not completed. They stopped completing this project because of war.
Oh, so that's been like that since 2011?
Yes.
And there's no plans to ever rebuild it?
You need stability, you need a government, like united government, a parliament, you know, you need this kind of stability, then you can go for big projects and you go for development. Without security, you cannot do any of this. Experts will not come back to finish their job. It's all related to the situation.
Yeah.
The security situation, which is improved now a lot.
Yeah.
But still, we are hoping things to settle for good.
Yeah. If you think about the average Libyan person, what do they hope for in like the next 5 to 10 years? Or what do you guys imagine it's going to be like, assuming that things continue to get better like they have been?
To have election, to have united government, a parliament, like any democratic country. People, they are not worried about economic situation because we are a country that produce oil constantly, and we have a big reserve. So once things are settled with politicians, everything else will be easy to be done with the money that is needed. They don't need to look for resources, although we must look for alternative resources. But for now, and the reserve we have is good enough for the next 2 or 3 decades.
مالك سهرة شنو جو؟ تمام؟ الحمد لله. شو الأخبار؟ راح نروح على الصحراء إن شاء الله. سلام. You wonder how many tens of millions of people have hiked up something like this. Oh. Definitely gets more windy up here. Assalamu alaikum. انتم من وين؟ تزربو. اوكي. بعيد من هون لا؟
1800 1900.
منور يا زعيم. And look at this. We have made it up. That's Tunisia. That's Algeria. And this is Libya. Standing up here in the middle of the Sahara, it can be hard to imagine that this empty desert was once part of a connected world. Nearly 2,000 years ago, the Roman Empire pushed deep into this region, building desert outposts like this to watch over trade routes moving between Africa and the Mediterranean. Back then, these borders didn't exist. What's now Libya, Algeria, and Tunisia was simply one vast frontier crossed by caravans, merchants, and empires. But today, from this same hilltop, you can look out and see 3 separate nations at once, divided by lines that only appeared much later in history. All right, let's go. Malak Sahara. أنا بتابع the license plate كتير. هلبا. 4 7s, which is a sign of good luck. That means hopefully we won't be flipping this thing. All right, forward march, forward march. Here we go. As we were cruising towards the sunset spot, I couldn't help but think about how many families must have been split when Algeria and Libya closed their borders. And now they seem so close, but in reality are so far. That's Algeria's post right there. And then the border starts right at the top. Oh my God, look at this. This is insane. These next few minutes were just so incredible. I had to pause everything and take in the silence of the desert. So we've got our last moments of the sun setting right now. And it's a moment to reflect. 3 bros, and we're just here on our own in a place so beautiful. And it's always in these moments when I'm in the desert that I reflect on life, and I have very similar thoughts every time. And it's an appreciation for nature. It's an appreciation for how massive the world is. Because when you spend all of your life traveling, you still will only have seen a sliver of the world. Even when you've been to every country in the world, you've just crossed 196, 198, 210 borders, depending on how you look at the world. But the world is so vast that even here in Libya, we spent 7 hours to get down here. There's probably so many other places you can see around the country, natural landscapes, ways of living. That's the amazing thing about being a human. The curiosity will never end, and the places to go only continue to increase. It's a beautiful world we live in, my friends. If only there was more peace in it. If only there were more cultures and people that could get along, we could experience a lot more places like this. A lot easier. Because even myself, I was scared to come to Libya. I didn't know what it was going to be like. I mean, it's like a level 4 do not travel place, and so when you come to a place like this, you're like, how is it going to go? Is it going to be that once in a blue moon where something happens and I just happen to be there? Or no? By the time we made it back to town, I genuinely thought the day was done. And if I'm being honest, I felt like something was missing. The day had been incredible, but I guess I was just wishing there had been one more real human moment. But in reality, after the sun sets, there's not that much to do in Ghadames. Seems there's only like one restaurant in this entire city, and it happens to be a pizza restaurant. So it is time to try out the Pizza Abbas, which is gonna be a delicious place. And we've got Abbas right here. مالك البيتزا انت ايه؟
اهلا وسهلا بيك.
نبي نجرب حاجة حلوة طيبة. معقول خبز فوق جبنة زعتر مخلوطين؟ ولا يهمك. شكرا. Abbas quickly picked up that I was filming a YouTube video, and he contacted his son, who showed up in just 5 minutes. And our connection became my most memorable moment in Ghadames. What's up, brother? What's your name?
How you doing? My name is Salah. Salah Abbas.
It's nice to meet you. Bye, okay? انت من Ghadames?
originally not Libyan. No, I'm not Libyan.
Oh, you're not Libyan. You moved here.
Yeah, we moved right here. We're from Chad.
Oh, nice. From Chad.
You come to Chad?
Not yet, but راح نروح مع بعضنا.
Okay.
Yeah.
In 2020,
Yeah.
lockdown. I was just sitting in my house and searching through Facebook, saw you.
Really?
Yeah. Then I watched another channel for someone, I think he's from Australia. His name's
Luke the man. Yeah. That's one of my best friends. Yeah.
I've been watching him and watching you. And yesterday, Hatem came right here and told me that I have Mac with me. If he came, call me, I will come.
That's
I have to
awesome.
take a picture with you.
Yeah, let's do it. شرفنا يا زعيم.
Yeah, what?
يا زعيم شرفنا.
You're Zayn.
Yeah.
You're the Zayn.
Oh, شني طيبة. حلبة من Leslie's. Guys, I'm loving this pizza so much. For the first time probably in my entire life, I have ordered a second pizza.
Hey, tell Luke to come and visit. Luke gotta try this.
And I was like, you know what? We got to make Saleh's day and give Luke a call here. We got to convince him to come to Libya.
You're gonna come to Libya. Ghadames directly, yeah. The whole town, you're gonna like it very much. If you come out here, you're gonna find the best pizza.
Hell yeah. Stay safe out there. All right, see you, bro.
And when we went up to pay, Abbas and his son tried to give us the pizzas for free, which was unbelievably kind. Something you'll only experience in few parts of the world. But we had to force him to take a tip.
He gave us a deal. What a good man. We got 30 and then this one, that's tip for you.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
شكرا لكم. يعطيكم صحة. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I hope many people come and visit this place, and inshallah راح نروح على تشاد مع بعضنا.
Listen, your Arabic is so good.
شكرا. منور يا زعيم. Moments like these, I was about to go back to the hotel room for the night, and then boom, we decided to go to the restaurant, and that literally made this day so special.
I had come down to Ghadames on this long road trip, expecting to see some ancient architecture out in the Sahara Desert. But what I found was peace. At first glance, this place feels empty or quiet. In a world obsessed with chaos, Ghadames is the opposite. It's a place where you can actually breathe. And standing in the sand dunes at sunset, you realize you're exactly where you want to be. I've traveled to countries all across the world, and I keep finding the same thing. The places that have seen the worst, surprisingly, have the most kind-hearted people. Libya proved that to me. A place isn't defined by its history, it's made up of its people. And the people of Ghadames changed how I see this country. Tomorrow, we will head back to the capital city, and once we are there, we will take part in one of the most sacred moments anyone can experience in all of Libya. And by the way, you can scan my QR code on screen or use the link down in the description below with code NOMAC19 at checkout to get your MyHeritage DNA kit today.